I went to the library recently and asked the librarian if they had any books on noise levels. They said, sure. What volume would you like? Terrible. That's a terrible joke to begin this video. Hello. You might have seen my recent video on tinnitus and how 1 billion people are at risk of hearing loss. Well, since diving into the research for that video, I've been warier about loud noises more than ever before. Everything around me feels desperately noisy, but in my profession, there's really no avoiding it totally. So I thought I would face my fears with some exposure therapy. For this video, we're turning the volume dial all the way up to 11. We're going really loud, really, really loud. Prepare to witness the loudest sounds on Earth. But before we do, if you're not yet subscribed and really enjoy this video, I would really love it for you to please hit that button. What do you think the loudest recorded sound on Earth is? Is it man-made or naturally occurring? Vegetable, mineral, or animal? And does size matter when it comes to noise? Allow me to get technical for a second. Sound is measured in decibels. Decibels are a relative unit of measurement equal to 1/10 of a bell. The Bell system, named after Alexander Graham Bell, originated in the early 20th century in the USA as a measurement of transmission loss and power in telephony. Bells are now infrequently used, but decibels are widely used in a range of fields. For context, normal conversation is about 60 decibels, a siren is 120 decibels, and a rocket blasting off is about 180 decibels. Damage to human hearing occurs at around 80 decibels. It's important to note that decibels aren't a linear scale. Something that has 100 decibels isn't 2 times louder than something of 50 decibels. Decibels increase in what's called a logarithmic scale. Instead of increasing in equal increments, each interval is increased by a factor of the base of the logarithm, in this case 10. So when something is 10 decibels higher, it's 10 times louder. If it's 20 decibels higher, it's 100 times louder. And if it's 60 decibels higher, it's 1,000,000 times louder. We've all felt that physical feeling in our chest from loud bass, as if the air is being pushed out of your lungs, or seen the air vibrate near a big speaker. Sounds at these high levels are not just unpleasantly loud, they can be physically dangerous. At 194 decibels, the energy in the sound waves distorts and creates a complete vacuum between waves. The sound no longer moves through the air, but pushes the air along with it, creating a pressurized wall known as a shock wave. These can rupture your eardrums or even your organs. I don't know about you, but I'd prefer to keep my organs intact. So, who are the loudest bands of all time? Deep Purple's 1972 concert at London's Rainbow Theatre was included in the Guinness Book of World Records as the loudest ever recorded at the time, at 117 decibels. It was so loud, it rendered 3 members of the audience unconscious. Given the potentially permanent damage it was doing to audiences, Guinness decided to stop recognising this particular record so as not to encourage one-upmanship, but they still officially recognise the loudest drummer in the world, with Cole Hatchman recorded at 137.2 decibels, playing the drums during a gig in Australia in 2006. Bands didn't stop trying, of course. Kiss were recorded hitting 136 decibels in a concert in Ottawa. In June 1996, the British electronic duo Leftfield reportedly measured at 137 decibels when they played London's legendary Brixton Academy. It was so loud that chunks of plaster began to fall from the ceiling. They were invited to perform again, but only if they turned it down, lest they level the historic building. The heavy metal band Manowar claimed to have reached an unbelievable 139 decibels during their soundcheck at the Magic Circle Festival in 2008 by using 10 tons of amplifiers and speakers measuring 40 feet in length and 21 feet high. Quite an impressive stack, right? But scientists have managed one better, because we all know who the real rock stars are. Pardon the interruption. If you're interested in sound and producing your own music but don't know where to start, then check out my course How to Produce in Ableton Live with Rachel K. Collier. First 1,000 people to sign up using the link below get a 50% discount, so check it out. Where were we? The Large European Acoustic Facility, LEAF, is a purpose-built chamber in the Netherlands that's designed to reproduce realistic spectral noise pressure levels so scientists can simulate the environment spaceships will have to endure during takeoff. The chamber measures 36 feet wide by 29 feet deep, with 52-foot-high walls made with steel-reinforced concrete to contain the sound. One wall is fitted with a series of 4 noise horns, similar to those seen in stereo speakers, which can produce the noise equivalent to multiple jet aircraft. lifting off simultaneously. It can reach upwards of 156 decibels, loud enough to literally explode you, and they're working on making it louder. The acoustic chamber even rests on springs so it doesn't shake the entire building. And if you think this sounds like something James Bond would find himself trapped in, don't worry, there is a series of safety measures that makes it literally impossible for a human to be in there when sound plays. So our technology can reach impressive volumes, but the loudest sounds on Earth actually come from the natural world, or perhaps more accurately, from out of this world. A few animals have thrown their hat in the ring for the title. A golden retriever named Charlie set the Guinness World Record for the loudest dog bark at 113 decibels. Black howler monkeys can be heard up to 3 miles away and can reach 140 decibels. A special mention goes to the tiny tiger pistol shrimp. This little gunslinger stuns its prey with a wave of sound measuring 200 decibels. It cocks its large claw like a pistol and fires a jet of air bubbles, which implode in a miniature sonic boom louder than a gunshot, stunning its prey from meters away. Nice shot. Blue whale song is loud and long enough to deafen you, but sperm whales pip them when it comes to decibels. These majestic beasts use a series of short, sharp clicks for navigation and to identify their surroundings. Sound waves bounce off objects and return to the whale, allowing them to identify the shape. These clicks only last milliseconds, but come in at an incredible 230 decibels. And in 2013, in Russia's southern Ural region, the Chelyabinsk meteor, the biggest chunk of rock to hit the planet in more than a century, struck without warning, causing an ear-splitting noise calculated as being 180 decibels from 4 miles away. The infrasonic shockwave was too low a frequency for the human ear, but was picked up by a listening station more than 9,000 miles away in Antarctica. Over 1,200 people were injured from flying glass and other debris. Residents said they thought the world was ending. But it's time, the loudest sound ever to have been heard on Earth. On the morning of the 27th of August, 1883, on the Indonesian island of Krakatoa, a volcano erupted with such immense force that it's estimated to have reached 310 decibels. Tragically, between 30 and 120,000 people were estimated to have been killed by the volcano and the terrifying 150-foot tsunami waves that followed, reaching ships as far away as South Africa. The explosion was 10,000 times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima in August 1945 and caused 2/3 of the entire island to collapse. Sailors 3,000 miles away described hearing a sound as loud as cannon fire from a nearby ship. Captain Sanson of the British ship Norham Castle, sailing just 40 miles from Krakatoa at the time of the eruption, wrote in his ship's log, "I am writing this blind in pitch darkness. We are under a continual rain of pumice stone and dust. So violent are the explosions that the eardrums of over half my crew have been shattered. My last thoughts are with my dear wife. I am convinced the day of judgment has come." Shockwaves travelled around the world 7 times in the week that followed. The explosion released 20 million tons of sulfur into the atmosphere, turning the sky red and causing a volcanic winter. It's even theorized that Edvard Munch's famous painting The Scream was inspired by the resulting blood-red skies, although this is disputed by many Munch scholars. Nevertheless, it's harder to think of a more appropriate image to end on. Think before you turn it up. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Be sure to check out the Ableton course offer I have for you in the description below. But, as always, I'll be seeing you here very, very soon.